Ash Media's coverage of Snap-on Kalgoorlie's Australian Street Stock Championship is proudly brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia. The official down on the gate, he's loitered a couple of times as if he's going to close it, and he is closing it. Templar won't make it. Stand by. The C main is about to go green. The race is reduced to 18 laps. It's now 18 laps because we've lost a car. Stand by for a start. The C main is underway. We haven't had a stoppage all night. Away we go. Ricky Throckmorton on the inside. Daniel Badala the outside the track now in fantastic condition as they move out of turn 2. The Nissan Skyline of David Francis is right up there as well. Remembering only the top 2 cars go through. They move out of turn 3 and 4 the first time going the traditional way. And it's a literal traffic jam into the main straight. Throckmorton, Badala, David Francis on the outside is Scott Bull. Back then to Josh Davies, Clayton Blee, Dale Riley Jr. Back after that it's Sean Barrett and Scott Bull. It was Matt Nelson that's actually up there in 4th place at the moment. So they move out of 3 and 4 the second time. Here in the C main of the Australian Street Stock title, and it's Ricky Throckmorton who leads them. The second lap at 20.096. Badala in 2nd place, then David Francis, then back to Josh Davies in 4th place as they head down the back straight the second time. Back then to Matt Nelson, then Clayton Blee, Dale Riley Jr. and Sean Barrett. Into the main straight once again, Ricky Throckmorton the leader, Badala, then Francis, back to Josh Davies, Matt Nelson, Clayton Blee, that's the first half dozen. 7th place is Dale Riley Jr., then Peter Dowie, then back to Daniel Amajuri, who's got plenty of work to do as they move down the back straight. Unbelievably, we still have not had one stoppage tonight in any of the racing. This is the C main, 4 down and some 15 laps to go. The race leader is Throckmorton, Badala in 2nd place, back then to David Francis, Josh Davies, trying to come underneath of Josh Davies is Matt Nelson, then Clayton Blee. A gap back then to Dale Riley Jr. in 7th place and Peter Dowie and Daniel Amajuri. Into the main straight again, Throckmorton's got 5 down, 14 laps to go in the C main. Back in 2nd place is Daniel Badala, Josh Davies, David Francis, Matt Nelson. Oh, the little Nissan Skyline runs wide and loses a spot. Nearly gets spun out. Oh, Daniel Amajuri clips the back of him as he was going sideways. And the Nissan Skyline is now facing in the reverse direction on the back straight. Will this bring on the caution lights? Down the back straight, the main straight they go. It's Throckmorton, the race leader. The yellows have come on. The yellows are on for the first time tonight. And David Francis is pointing in the wrong direction. All about set to go. Set for a dispatch. The green lights come back on. Ricky Throckmorton, the race leader from Daniel Badala. Back in 3rd place, the 43 of Josh Davies. They head down into turn 1 and 2. After that, David Francis has got a lot of work to do in the little Skyline. He's seeing all the cars at the moment. Our race leader, though, is Throckmorton from Badala. So come up with 12 laps to go. Back to Davies in 3rd. 4th place Francis, then Clayton Blee, Dale Riley Jr. It's a traffic jam down into turn 1 and 2. The C main in progress as we try and race through before the rain hits in about 30 kilometres time. It's going to be touch and go. Throckmorton does a 19.833 as they move into the main straight. 2nd place Badala, back to Davies in 3rd place, then Nelson. Clayton Blee is 5th, then Dale Riley Jr. Daniel Amajuri's up to 7th place. So move down to turn 1 and 2 and back down the back straight, remembering just the first 2 qualify. We've done 7 laps. We're about to complete lap number 8. We've got the yellow lights on and they are on for... yeah, I'm not sure why the yellow lights are on. There we are, we've got debris in turn 4, a car length off the curb. Bob Wakefield coming to the inquiry bay. 11 laps to go in the C main. In front of this very big crowd on hand once again. Can we get through the last 11 laps and then move into the B main? The first 2 get through. Race is back under green lights. Throckmorton, Padala, they're the 2 that'll qualify at this stage. Josh Davies in 3rd place, then back to Matt Nelson from Victoria. Clayton Blee in 5th, then Dale Riley Jr. And there's a traffic jam out after the race leaders as Daniel Padala is looking to the outside of Throckmorton. Coming underneath the Padala is Josh Davies. Also there is Matt Nelson and Clayton Blee. It's a race in 5. Oh, trouble. Oh, very heavy hit here in the front, straight in the fence. Sean Barrett in number 19, and also right there was Dale Riley Jr. in number 98. He didn't quite hit the fence, but Sean Barrett has hit the fence an almighty blow and is going to require some attention pretty quickly. A very heavy hit here in the front straight. The fire crew are right on the JOB, but Sean Barrett has hit the fence right where everybody else has in the main straight, exiting turn number 4. And we've got another stoppage, still 11 to go. And as I look at the weather on the radar, there's an amazing freak of fortune happening here. There's a large band.
It's going around.
No, there's a large band, and as closer it's getting to Kalgoorlie, it is thinning out to almost nothing. This is, I'm not going to try and jinx it, but there's a severe band of weather, and the closer it's getting to us, it is thinning out to almost nothing. And we could be freakily very lucky indeed. We've got red lights on here. We'll take some music because Sean Barrett has hit the fence an almighty blow. And I thought there was some drama because the fans down on the fence were waving pretty quickly at the crash crew. Sean is out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about putting your hands together for him? He's holding his back. He has a little bit of pain there. And that is no good. But an almighty hit into the fence. And Sean will get checked out. It's rotten luck for Sean in car number 19.
Better before we went yellow, and hopefully they'll be able to resume once again. Matt Nelson, Clayton Blee, and Daniel Amaduri starting to move up the field once again.
Thanks, Morgan. We're about to go green with 11 laps to go in the C main. The first 2 qualify now. Sometimes the leader gets away, and the exciting race is for the minor end of the prize, and that could be the case again here. Throckmorton leads as the green lights come back on in the C main. Davies missed the start, and that allows Padala to get away. So the front 2 are clear. Back to Davies in 3rd place. Then Matt Nelson, Clayton Blee. Back then to Daniel Amaduri as they head down the back straight the first time on the restart. Behind them would be Scott Bull and Peter Dowie as they move out of 3 and 4 once again, going the traditional way. The race leader is Ricky Throckmorton, 8 laps down and 10 to go. Padala in 2nd place. Back then to Josh Davies. Coming under Davies is Matt Nelson from Victoria. The race leader's keeping everybody very interested. Ricky Throckmorton. Back to Clayton Blee and Daniel Amaduri. It's a big freight trainer cars. Then behind them is Scott Bull and Peter Dowie. That's the first 8. Bronte Humphries and Kyron Bridges at 9th and 10th as they move into the main straight. Amaduri's got Clayton Blee off the curb, so go down into turn number 1. Ricky Throckmorton by a car length. In fact, there's 1 second separating the first 6 cars as they move down the back straight. It's very close indeed as they move out of turn 3 and 4. There's 8 laps to go this time around. Throckmorton from Victoria, Padala from Western Australia. Josh Davies in 3rd place, the first non-qualifier at this point. Matt Nelson, Clayton Blee. Oh, we've got 1 car off the track here in the main straight. That's the 84 car of Bronte Humphries. He goes across the grass when there's not much of it there. Nearly hits the puddle. We've got 2 more offline further back in the field. One of those was Clayton Blee, I think, as they move into the main straight. Davies and Bull in the 61 car, having a Matt Nelson, sorry, in the 61, right behind Daniel Padala, and Daniel Amaduri's there in 5th place. 5 of them fighting for the lead. The 84 car has some problems there, and again is offline, but he rejoins. But it's a race in 5 for the C main. It's a ding-dong battle too. Throckmorton just in front. Oh, trouble here for 4th and 5th place. And that's the 61 and Nelson and Josh Davies. Davies bounces off the wall, and while he did that, Daniel Amajuri goes into 3rd place. The Matt Nelson's gone back to 6th place as he went offline coming out of turn number 2. He's got smoke coming out the back end as well. That has allowed Throckmorton Padala to skip away. 3rd place. Oh, there's another one up against the fence. That's Peter Dowie. The concrete wall here is made of much more than concrete. They bounce off of it pretty well as well. Daniel Amajuri has got 5 laps to go to try and mow down 1st and 2nd to try and get into the B main. They come into the main straight with 4 laps to go. Throckmorton and Padala, there's some 1 second clear of Amajuri. Davies then back in 5th place is Matt Nelson, Clayton Blee and Peter Dowie as they move out of turn number 2 once again. The lead 2 cars are clear. They're coming up on a lap car though, and Amajuri's coming in a rate of knots. 3 laps to go this time around in the C main. The Australian Street Stock title, there's Ricky Throckmorton out in front. They're coming up on the lap car, and maybe this is where Amajuri can pounce. He's up behind Daniel Padala, and Padala makes a mistake, and Amajuri levels up with him, pokes the nose into 2nd place. Padala fights back. This is for a qualifying spot in the B main. As they've got 2 laps to go this time around. The race leader is Throckmorton. Padala in 2nd place again. Back to Daniel Amajuri as they go down into turn number 2. Padala goes off the curb, and Daniel Amajuri levels up again. Down the back straight, there's 1.5 laps left to go. Padala and Amajuri going hammer and tongs for a qualifying spot. Throckmorton comes into the main straight, greets the white flag. Padala and Amajuri running 2nd and 3rd. Back to Davies and then Nelson. Clayton Blee's got a flat tyre, so too has Nelson. They both retire. Down the back straight the last time. Padala and Amajuri fighting for the last qualifying spot in the B main. It's Ricky Throckmorton the winner. Daniel Amajuri won't get there, and it's Daniel Padala who qualifies. It's Daniel Padala 2nd, Amajuri 3rd, Davies 4th, back to Peter Dowie, back to Scott Bull after that, Kyron Bridges. Daniel Druitt is after that, Greg Avens is 9th. They're coming in at long intervals. Next will be Matt Nelson, no, Clayton Blee is 10th. Matt Nelson didn't finish with a flat tyre. Bronte Humphries is going to be 12th. My goodness gracious, what a finish there. Amajuri wants to have a chat with the officials. Ricky Throckmorton and Daniel Padala qualify.